The night the dragon entered the tavern, the world seemed to stop breathing. Every voice fell silent. Every laugh died in throats. Every candle trembled as if it feared. The wooden door groaned under the weight of something ancient and wounded. And then he stepped inside. A dragon warrior taller than any man, his scales dark green, stained with blood, his armor cracked and hanging like the remains of a forgotten war. One wing dragged across the floor, broken beyond repair. Golden eyes burned with exhaustion, rage, and deep sorrow. He looked like a king thrown from his throne, forced to crawl through the mud of hatred. Nobody moved because everyone knew the stories. Dragons were not supposed to walk into human towns. Dragons were supposed to be hunted, worshipped, or feared from a distance. Not seen up close, not bleeding, not breathing like a dying soldier seeking shelter. The king had declared them cursed long ago. Monsters born from fire and ruin. Pishu's king had said no dragon could ever be trusted. No dragon could ever be forgiven. And so men learned to hate them the way they learned to fear storms. The tavern was full that night. Soldiers, merchants, hunters laughing just moments before. But now they sat frozen like statues, their hands hovering near swords, eyes wide with the terror of something they could not control. The dragon stood in the center of the room, and for a moment it felt like the past itself had returned. In the far corner sat a boy alone. The kind of boy people stopped noticing long ago. Small, thin, wrapped in a worn cloak. His legs lay still beneath him, useless since birth. The wooden wheelchair beneath him creaked softly as he shifted his weight. He had been born broken, they said, cursed. They whispered, children like him are reminders that life is unfair and cruel. The town did not like reminders. His name was Eli, and he had learned what loneliness truly was. Not the loneliness of being alone, but the loneliness of being surrounded by people who still chose to look away. He had watched other boys run through fields while he sat by windows. He had watched fathers lift sons onto shoulders while his own father turned his face away in shame. He had watched life pass like a river he could never enter. That night, Eli looked up at the dragon warrior, and something strange happened inside his chest, because he did not see a monster. He saw pain. He saw abandonment. He saw the same emptiness that lived inside himself. The dragon was feared by all, but Eli recognized that kind of fear because people feared weakness, too. The dragon's gaze swept the tavern, cold, sharp, and tired. He had nowhere to go. He was hunted by the king's men, poisoned by betrayal, wounded beyond healing, but still alive because death had refused him, just like hope had refused Eli. The dragon moved toward an empty table in the center of the room. Every step heavy, every breath labored. He sat down slowly, like a mountain collapsing onto wood. Still, nobody moved. Nobody dared come near. Eli watched the space around the dragon grow wider, like a desert of fear, and something inside him broke. Not with anger, but with sorrow, because he knew that space he lived in every day. He placed his hands on the wheels of his chair and rolled forward. The sound was small, but in the silence, it was thunder. "Stop, boy," someone whispered. "Are you insane?" Eli did not stop. He rolled until he was beside the dragon's table. Then he looked up, heart pounding so hard it felt like it might tear him apart. My voice came out soft but clear. "Share this table." The words hung in the air impossibly. Soldiers laughed first, a cruel, sharp sound. Another joined. Another. Asking a dragon to dine with him? One sneered. The dragon's eye narrowed. Claws flexed on the wood. He growled. Eli swallowed. "Because you have nowhere else to sit." The dragon stared, as if the boy spoke a language forgotten. "Humans do not offer kindness without reason." "I do not have a reason," Eli said, lips trembling. "I just know what it feels like when the world decides you do not belong." The tavern fell quiet again. Even the soldiers hesitated at the honesty. Then the captain stood, a broad man with the king's crest on his chest, eyes filled with hatred. "That beast is wanted," he said. "There is a bounty for its head. Step away." The boy looked at him. "He is bleeding. So he deserves it?" The captain spat. Dragons burned villages, killed our kin. The dragon's jaw clenched, but he did not speak. Eli turned back to the dragon. Did you? The dragon's silence was heavier than any confession. The captain stepped closer, lowering his voice. He carries the curse of the old war. The king declared him an abomination. He must die tonight. Eli's hands gripped the arms of his chair. The king declared me useless too. The captain scoffed. You are nothing compared to him. Eli's eyes filled with tears. Nothing is exactly what people call me every day. The dragon's gaze softened slightly. Something flickered beneath the rage. The captain's men drew their swords. Steel flashed in candlelight. The tavern keeper trembled. Please, not here. The dragon began to rise, despite pain, his broken wing dragging. Eli looked up, panicked. If you fight, they will kill you. The dragon's voice was low. I am already dying. Eli whispered, voice cracking. So am I. That stopped everything. The dragon froze, staring down at the fragile boy. Eli swallowed hard, forcing the words out. My legs stopped working when I was born, he said. I was cursed, the villagers said. I was a burden. My father left because he could not bear the shame of a broken son. The room was silent. Even the soldiers listened. Eli looked up, tears falling freely. Now everyone looks at me like I should not exist. He pointed gently at the dragon. They look at you the same way. The dragon's claws trembled. The captain raised his blade. Enough, boy. Move or die with it. Eli did not move. He rolled forward instead, placing himself between the soldiers and the dragon. Gasps erupted. Someone screamed. The captain's face twisted. You idiot! The dragon roared. Move, child. Eli shook his head. No. The dragon stared. No human had ever stood between him and death. The captain stepped closer. One swing. He hissed. And you are gone. Eli closed his eyes. The sword rose. Time slowed. Then the dragon moved. His claw caught the blade. Metal cracked like glass. The soldier stumbled back in fear. The dragon's breath was ragged. Touch him, and I will remind you why dragons were once feared. The captain laughed nervously. You are weak. The curse eats you alive. Please follow my channel for more videos. One click from you can change my life.